Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Advancement, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, and entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. So let's get straight into this topic here. So yesterday, as you guys know, I was kind of reacting to the timing of all of these stories that were coming out about the fallout between LeBron James and the Lakers. It's like the day after they lost, the very next day after he got swept, all of a sudden these stories started coming out. And I'm saying to myself, why didn't these stories come out before? Why are they coming out now? It just made no sense, right? So everyone was kind of weighing in on it. But then on First Take yesterday, they were talking about it, and I saw a title of the video that really stood out to me. And this was the title of the show. It says, Stephen A says what LA won't. Stephen A. Smith says Lakers won't admit this about LeBron James. So I clicked on the video to kind of hear what Stephen A. Smith was saying. And I think what he said was what most people understand. And it's one of the reasons you now kind of have like this civil war between Laker fans and LeBron James fans. But what he said essentially was, look, the Lakers organization doesn't like him. The fan base doesn't like him. And he began to go into detail as to why that is the case. But before we can get into what he had to say, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Prize Picks. All right, guys, the regular season is wrapped up and the NBA playoffs are finally here, and there's no better way to cash in on all of the high-flying hoop action than Prize Picks, a preferred partner of the NBA. Every bucket, every dime, every win means when you're making lineups on Prize Pick. And here's something you didn't want to sleep on. Prize Picks has the Do It Live 2026 NBA Finals sweepstakes going on right now. Make a $5 lineup with at least one live NBA player pick during the playoffs, and you could win a trip for two to the NBA Finals. That alone is reason enough to check out Prize Picks right now. I've been making lineups on the Celtics and Lakers players, and it makes watching the playoffs so much more fun. It's simple. Just pick more or less on player projections across basketball, baseball, hockey, and more. You can even pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup with stacks. And if your picks get off to a hot start, cash out early with easy payouts before the game even ends. Prize Picks is now available in all 50 states. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, a preferred partner of the NBA. Okay, perfect. So what we want to do is we want to play what Stephen A. Smith had to say. I want you guys to listen to his explanation, and then we're going to come back and then give you guys our thoughts. Take a listen to him here.
Perk, you know better. You know what this is about. Have the Lakers taken LeBron James for granted? Sure, you can make that argument. But let's put it where the ghost can get it, Big Perk. They don't particularly like him. That's what this is about more so than anything else. They'll never admit that. You understand what I'm saying? I'm saying there's denials all over the place, just as I said that statement. Oh, my God, I know that Stephen A. didn't just say that. Perk, I'm going to lean on you, who's been doing a great job covering the NBA all of these years, and obviously you're incredibly connected. You know that Clutch Sports, Rich Paul, and obviously by extension LeBron James has turned them off. When they made the trade for Russell Westbrook that ended up being disastrous, you understand, they felt like LeBron wasn't accepting accountability. When there were narratives put out there that the organization was the issue and not LeBron James, they knew it wasn't them putting that stuff out there. You and I have talked about this. Most NBA analysts talked about this because what have we lamented over the years? As great as he is, LeBron James is on the Mount Rushmore of basketball, one of the greatest players to have ever lived. He's also one of the greatest manipulator of narratives we've ever seen. Put Perk up on that screen, and I dare you to look at me and tell me I'm lying about that. You know there's nobody, there's very few people on the planet Earth more skilled and more committed to controlling narratives than him. You've said it before, Perk. I've said it before. You know that's why you're laughing. That's why Perk laughing, because he knows he said it because it's the absolute truth. I got proof. Even with Perk, I don't know if you know this, Shay. That man was on the McDonald's All-American team with LeBron James in 2003. That dude was a former teammate of LeBron James. That dude was a trusted confidant of LeBron James. And when he was remotely critical, LeBron James cut him off. You understand, with the Twitter account, blocked him or whatever it was. And Perk went on social media. What was your comment about Jesus? What was your comment about Jesus? You said something about, he said, I'll get over it. What did you say?
Hey, S.A., Everybody that ain't follow Jesus Christ.
That's right, he said. That's what he said in response to LeBron. Because why? Because Perk was making the point, we are out here covering the game of basketball, and this brother is getting mad at me, meaning Perk, and he's somebody that I've known since childhood, and you tripping over that. Perk was like, please, that you ain't worried about it. You know this, okay? Mad respect to somebody like a Rich Paul, who's done a great job with Clutch Sports and all. Ain't nobody here to cast any aspersions. But we all know over the years, not recently, but over the years, how fixated they were on manipulating and dictating narratives. Well, the Lakers were on the brunt end of all of that. The Lakers had to deal with that. And so what I'm saying is this: LeBron's greatness is not to be questioned. LeBron's commitment to excellence is not to be questioned. His contribution to the Lakers organization is not to be questioned. And certainly they should have an elevated level of appreciation because they didn't choose LeBron James. They didn't win LeBron James. LeBron James chose the Lakers. He could have went anywhere, but he chose the Lakers. I know they want to make it look differently because they're the Lakers franchise, and my goodness, you should feel privileged to come play for us, just like the Cowboys and Jerry Jones feels about when you should come play for the Cowboys. I understand that, but in most instances, they're absolutely right, but not when it comes to LeBron James. He chose the Lakers. He wanted to go to the Lakers. He made it very, very clear that's what he was doing. There was no sweepstakes that they competed for where they won him. He chose them. But it doesn't negate the fact that along the way, because he is who he is, and he's fixated on controlling narratives, that he didn't turn them off over the years. And when you see any kind of reluctance or tensions or pensiveness about them wanting to be, as a player, how could you not want LeBron James? Of course, as a team, you want LeBron James because he's too great not to. But it doesn't mean he didn't get on their damn nerves along the way. And that's all this is about.
All right, excellent. So what are my thoughts about this? Who's surprised by this? Almost everywhere LeBron goes, man, and he leaves, there's always some damn drama. He left Cleveland, it was burning his jersey. He went to Miami, they got tight with him over some damn cookies. Now he comes to LA. And look, I think this could have worked out in any other market with any other team, with, you know, maybe outside the Boston Celtics, but it could have worked any other team except the Lakers. The Lakers had too much of a story franchise. And now what you see is LeBron fans doing a lot of revisionist history. They're all of a sudden taking the Lakers' history from 3 to 4 years or 4 to 5 years, whatever, before he got there. That's when they're now beginning to tell the story of the Los Angeles Lakers because it fits their narrative. A team that he joined that already has 16 championships, they want to make it seem like LeBron put the Lakers on the map. Are you kidding me? LeBron James put the Lakers on the map? Are you freaking joking? But that's the way they want to portray it. That's the first thing. The second thing, he made a mistake going to the Lakers because the fan base doesn't accept him. One, that's Kobe's town, number one. Number two, the Lakers have done too much winning. They've had so many superstars come through that organization that LeBron was just viewed as another guy. And I think him, his fans, his camp were not used to that. They were used to being like the alpha and omega wherever they went to. But when they got to LA, it was a different reception. I'll never forget when he first got there, Laker fan, he was like, don't you know who I am? And it was like a shock to him. Like, wait a minute, these people don't know who I am. And they were looking at him like, yeah, welcome. What are you going to do for us? He wasn't used to that. Now, as time has gone on, it has become abundantly clear that the Laker fans don't want him on the team. They don't want him on the team. And we've already gone through the bombshell stories that came out a number of months ago with this thing about Jeannie Buss wanted to get rid of him. You know, she felt like LeBron was ungrateful after they signed Bronny James. So this relationship has been a slow burn. And I think I want to blame this on the Lakers. I feel like the Lakers didn't do their due diligence well enough. All they saw was that this guy was a superstar, face of the league, so let's get him, without vetting his personality and everything that comes with him. They just saw LeBron James, superstar, Lakers, perfect match, boom. No, it doesn't always work like that. And I think the Lakers are now regretting bringing this guy to their organization because now it's almost like as if he won't leave. Because what comes with LeBron is himself, his drama, all of his media pundits that work on his behalf, like Shannon Sharp, Kendra, all of these guys that now will even trash the organization when things don't go right. And I think now the Lakers are realizing it wasn't worth it Yeah, you made some money. Yeah, you got a bubblicious championship. But was it worth it after 8 years? Was it worth it? Was it worth it? This is the question you have to ask yourself. LeBron has had probably the most unsuccessful tenure as a Laker great, more than probably all of them. If you look at all of the other Laker greats, they've all won multiple rings for that organization. LeBron has won 1 ring, and since then it's just been total ineptitude ever since then. Right? So obviously they don't want him there. And that's why I'm always surprised at this thing of, oh, they want to bring him back. And if the Lakers bring him back, it has to be for financial reasons. But if you continue to keep this guy in your organization, you will continue to have drama. That's it.